Okay, so I'm still finishing up season 2 of The Legend of Korra, and one of the things I will say that Legend of Korra does better than the last Avatar, oh my, I keep doing that, the last Airbender, is that it goes into politics. Because the reason why Anon was able to get so many followers was because there was a group that was being oppressed, and that was the non-benders. They were being bullied and harassed by these gangs of benders, and they were being hustled out of money and etc. etc. And then on top of that, there were so many poor communities. Now, if you really think about it, in a world where people can spit out fire, shoot water from their fingers, and move rocks, why is there still poverty? And is if you remember from the last Avatar, you had different kind of groups. In the last Avatar, it goes more into classism. Because like we have the Northern Water Tribe, the Southern Water Tribe, but then there's also indigenous tribes that nobody talks about. And the way that they were presented in the story was that they're like uncivilized and weird, but they still bend water and they have their own practices and such. And there was a lot of groups in the last Airbender that were also had bending abilities, but still had their own different cultural practices that would either beef with other communities or would just hide from the major tribes. So I thought that was really interesting. Even though in Legend of Korra it goes into deeper in the politics and how things work. Like for instance, like Korra is the Avatar, but she still is beneath the government, the president, the law, and all kinds of stuff. She will still get arrested. She can't just do whatever she wants. She has to get permission from legal authorities and stuff like that. But still, there's not enough light shined on the non-benders because even after Anon was wiped out with Tarlock and his whole regime was over, still non-benders are discriminated against and are casually disrespected all the time. Because even if you look at Boomy and how he interacts with his siblings, he was a literal machine. He was in his wars, he was in the military doing his thing, but even though he was very successful in the military and stuff like that, he's still disrespected because he's simply not a bender. And that gets so old because so if fast. You remember, Sokka had the same issue. He was disrespected, overlooked throughout the entire series, similar to the non-benders in the Legend of Korra. It's the same issue, same problem. So if there is another series that the creators make, I really wanted to highlight the non-benders because I feel like they're not talked about enough.